Hello, back with a new dev update. So last time we looked into projectile speeds, and today we're going to be looking at projectile trajectories. So I basically did kind of the same thing that I did with the speeds, as in I made some sorts of curves that are going to be defining the movement, and I made the movement be able to be defined in all the three axes, right? So with that in mind, I'm just going to show you a few of the presets, the movement presets that I made. And we're going to show them off with the speed profiles that I had from the last video. So what you're seeing right now is like the default. It's like the constant speed with like a straight trajectory, right? But I can actually change this trajectory to, let's see, what should be the first one? Let's look at sine trajectory. So we got something like this. There we go. It's kind of cool. A little wobbly motion. Yeah. Okay, now let's see this with a different type of speed profile. So let's go with ramp down speed. There we go. So it slows down as it progresses. So these are the same speed profiles that I showed you on in the last update, but now we're going to be showing them off with like the new movement that we have, the new trajectories. Let's see the same one with ramp up speed. So this is the projectiles are accelerating here. Kind of an interesting effect. Now let's do a delayed activation. This is quite interesting as well, let's say. There we go. So it does that thing. And then jittery speed. I don't remember what this was. Oh, it's this. Yeah, this works. Cool effect indeed. And then the last movement, the speed that we had was like this weird one. It's like a yo-yo kind of thing. It goes back and forth for a while. Okay, so this is, let's switch back to the constant speed. So this is just like a sine wave trajectory that we have here. Something similar to this is going to be the zigzag trajectory, which is kind of a sine wave, but it's more jagged, and I made it a lot faster. So you get like this effect. I don't even know what to call this effect. It's a zigzag effect, yeah, sure, but it doesn't really look like a projectile specifically, but it could be quite interesting to have in some sort of gameplay. Now let's see this with like some other types of speed. There we go. This is decelerating, I think. And then let's do accelerating. It's something like that. I quite like the accelerating speed profile on this type of movement. Makes for a cool effect. Okay, let's try the delayed activation. I kind of like this one as well. I kind of like most of them, honestly. But yeah, some are going to be better than others. This is like jittery. There we go. And the last one was the yo-yo one, which is going to do something like that, which isn't quite interesting, if I'm being honest. This is one of my least favorite effects, but it's there. Anyway, switching back to constant speed, and then let's go to the next type of trajectory that we have here. And so we saw sine wave, straight, we had zigzag. The next one is going to be like some sort of loops. And when I say loops, this is what I mean. So yeah, you can define lots of weird trajectories with the system that I have in place, and it's all data driven. It's you don't have to actually code anything in. It's just a few curves that you modify. So I have a curve that's defining the movement like in front of the player, one that defines the sideways movement, and one that defines the I don't know, the elevation, let's say, of the projectile, which I'm not going to be using too often because this is mostly a top-down kind of game, let's say. So the elevation part of the projectile might be a bit weird. It could be a nice subtle effect in some cases, but usually I don't think I'm going to use it that much. So let's try a few more speed options with this. This one's a cute one. Yeah. This is the deceleration one. Let's do the acceleration one. And it's definitely an interesting one. So one thing that we can see here with most of these speed profiles, well, the movements and speeds profiles for the projectiles, is that the trace that is left behind is not really that smooth. These are supposed to be circular motions, but they're really jagged. They have really straight edges. That's because you only get like a point set in the like one point per frame. So if the interval between frames is, well, since the movement is so fast, you're gonna have like jagged edges because of the frame rate. If you have like bigger frame rate, it's gonna be like smoother, but that's not always an option. So I'm gonna have to fix this at one point, and while this is doing the trail renderer from Unity, like the default one, I'm gonna have to do something a bit more custom, or maybe use that one and add some intermediary points, like a few more points per frame, not just one. And that might solve the solution. I'm gonna have to look into it at one point. Let's see, where were we? Let's do a delayed activation speed for this projectile. There we go. That's something. I don't know. It's just another thing. Let's just go straight to the last movement profile that I have, and that is a circle. It's a weird one in a way. So let's do constant speed again, and we get this. It's basically just a circle around the player, right? And it's quite basic. It has a few flaws because I'm not doing it really. I don't have the perfect system in place for this kind of projectile, honestly. But even though the system is not made to work with this kind of stuff, it still does in a bit of a janky way, but it does its thing. Let's do some deceleration here. Yeah, I kind of like this one. And then let's do an acceleration. And I really like the way this one ramps up, right? And you can see it really easily when it's at the beginning of the movement. The line that it makes, the trail, is very, very smooth. But when it picks up a lot of speed, it's like, because it moves at such a high speed, there's like, because of the frame rate, it gets really, really jagged. So yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that at one point, because that's gonna be sort of a core mechanic of the game. So it's definitely something I have to look into, and there's no way around it. And let's just do, which one should we do last? Let's do the yo-yo speed with like the circle thing. And it does pretty interesting motion, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that's basically what I've been working on in the past week. I had a bit of a few issues there, but I got most of them solved. Still a lot of things to do, but I basically have a system in place for defining most of the movement for my projectiles. That is both speed and trajectory. So it's a really good base, and I can make a lot of things with just data for this. So yeah, cool stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna be showcasing next. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna be working on next, but you're gonna find out in the next update if you're gonna still be around. So yeah, see you then, I guess. Yeah, cheers.